Okay, we're gonna turn that on mute because it feels like my bedroom is literally burning down and we don't want that. So okay, I feel like this is the first time that I've sat in this background. Kind of switched things up because I usually film sit down videos facing the other way with my bed in the background, but I thought there's a bit more going on here now since I've like switched up the bedroom. So yeah, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jess and today I'm going to be filming for you a little bit of a get to know me Q&A. Just because we've had some new people join us over Vlogmas and it's been a little while since I did one, and I've got a few updates to tell you. Got a few things going on in my life, so yeah. So get yourself cozy, grab yourself a cuppa. We've got the candle on here, the fireplace is roaring, and yeah, let's answer some questions. I feel like these questions are going to be a little bit different to the ones I usually answer, or I'm going to be answering ones which now have a different answer to what they did before. So okay, so the first question that I'm going to be answering is, are you planning to lose weight in the new year and document it for content? Hope so. Okay, so I am planning on losing weight this year, as I do nearly every year. But yes, I will be carrying on my content in terms of weight loss and what I eat in a day and how the gym's going, etc. I won't be doing kind of like the more documentary style ones that I was doing, where it was like weekly weigh-ins and whatnot. But I will be documenting kind of generally how it's going and what I'm eating, just basically carrying on with content that I have been doing. I'm undecided as to whether to start like a documentary which will be like a longer one, kind of documenting the whole process in one video, or whether to just kind of carry on as I am. However, kept coming into my mind that I should be doing a more kind of documentary, like longer version video, where it would be like maybe 45 minutes to an hour long, and it would document like maybe 3 months progress at a time. So like every 12 weeks I'd upload like a longer version. Let me know what you think, what style I should do, whether you would prefer kind of more consistent, like what I eat in a day style. I mean, I will do them. I'm not decided as to how I'm going to do it yet, but I am planning on kind of documenting how my health and fitness journey is going, so yes, I will be doing that. Next question, staying on kind of like the health and fitness and diet kind of topic, is would you ever go back to Slimming World? I do get asked this quite often in my DMs, in comments, etc. And personally for me, no, I wouldn't go back to Slimming World, just because I've got my own personal experience with it, and although I did lose weight on it, the kind of relationship that it gave me personally with food wasn't a great one, and it's not something that I want to return to. Everybody's journey is different, so Slimming World might work amazingly for other people, but for me, yes, I lost weight, but up here it wasn't right. Like just something wasn't right with me and food, and I was very restrictive on it, and the reason why I lost weight was because I was very restrictive on it. So yeah, not to say that it wouldn't or doesn't work for other people, because everybody has completely different experiences with various different ways of losing weight, but for me personally, I will not be going back to that, and I will be sticking to a calorie deficit from here on out. Well, as much as I can. I don't know why I said here on out when I know for a fact that I'm going to have cheat days, as everyone does. I'm going to try. Let's just say that. We're going to try. And that's all you can expect from me. So I've had actually a couple of questions in this section saying, would you ever do a Newcastle meetup? I don't know if people still do them or if the world is too dodgy. I don't really know. I've never, whilst I was like growing up in the YouTube era, like I knew that like a lot of creators who I followed at the time or was subscribed to used to do meetups quite often, and I used to think they were so cool and things, but now that I'm in this space, I don't know if it's something that I do. I don't know whether it's like, but not for any reason other than the fact that I'm not quite sure that anyone would show up. Because I don't know, it's just not something that I've really thought of, or yeah, I don't know whether that's something that I would do. I mean, I wouldn't completely close the book to it, but yeah, I'm not sure anyone would come. So I'd be sat on my own. So I don't know is the answer. It's not something that I've considered, but I'm not completely ruling it out, if that makes sense. And if I ever did, it would be it would be somewhere in like a completely open space, public and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know, not something that I've considered as of right now. Next comment, actually we're going to answer a couple of questions about Billy. So we've got the first one, which is how old is Billy? Actually, I feel like it's wrong answering questions about Billy when Billy is not on screen. So Billy, who's sat actually right next to me as per usual, come say hello to everyone before we answer questions about you. Okay? Is that all right? Can I tell them your business? Okay, so well, there's two questions here that I'll answer as part of one. So first is how old is he, and then second one is I've always wondered why you don't let Billy outside. Okay, so I do get a couple of comments about Billy and him going outside and the fact that he's an indoor cat. So first of all, Billy is 3 years old. It's not that I don't let him outside. There has been plenty of opportunity for Billy to go outside. He just doesn't. Typically as a breed, Bengals are more kind of indoor cats. Just purely because that's how they've been bred. Like they haven't got the natural instincts to kind of go outside. Like he doesn't really hunt as much as other cats do, and doesn't have the instinct to hunt. One of my previous cats really did have the instinct to hunt, and he did go out. So and he did end up going out, but yeah, Billy's not really got that instinct, and I've had the back door, front door, windows open, and he just doesn't go. Just doesn't cross the barrier. So it's not so much, so I do get a couple of comments saying that I'm cruel for not letting him outside and that I should let him explore and blah blah blah. It's not my decision, hun. Like if he wants to go outside, he will go outside, but he's not crossing the boundary, and I'm not going to force him. I think he has gone outside like once or twice, and he's come running in and like he just doesn't like it. So I'm not going to force my cat to go outside when he doesn't want to be there. So I don't know what else to say. It's not so much, I don't think this particular question was in a negative sense, but to sort of some people who do kind of make comments about the fact that they think I'm being cruel, it's not my decision. I'm not going to force Billy to do something that he doesn't want to do, because that in itself is cruel. So Billy doesn't go outside because he doesn't want to. And that's it. That's the only answer I can really give you. What did you do professionally before YouTube? So before YouTube, okay, let's do a job history. My very first like proper job, which kind of was and wasn't a proper job, was that I was a photographer for nightlife. I did nightlife photography. I used to go around the nightclubs and take photographs. Initially, I did that thing where you buy key rings. And then I stopped doing the selling key rings because you only earn like commission off that. And then I started getting paid a set fee to do nightclub photography for the specific venues. And then I just got paid a hourly rate, as it were. I did that for about 2 years. I also worked in the office for the company that I was doing that for. So I was in like kind of recruitment sort of area. I would phone up people who had inquired about becoming a photographer, and I would ring them and kind of onboard them, etc. Did that for 2 years, and then I worked at an auction house for, I want to say like 3.5 years, maybe 2.5 or 3.5. I can't really remember, if I'm honest. I worked in a couple of departments actually there. So I worked in the customer or client care, it was called, where I would answer the phones and speak to clients, direct them to different departments, do website, kind of like direct people around the website. What else was it? It was just kind of every kind of need that someone would call in. It was basically, we were like the switchboard, but we would deal with kind of other parts of it as well. And then I also worked in the data quality department of that company, and that was basically like back office, so I wasn't really speaking to any clients as such, and kind of dealing with their accounts, making sure that they were up to date, like just back office stuff. And then I left there and I joined the NHS, and I worked for the NHS as a healthcare assistant for 6.5 years, and now I do this. So that is my full job history up until now, and I've been doing YouTube now for nearly 3 years. Wow, nearly 3 years. Well, it'll be 3, actually no, that's a complete lie, 2.5 years. So I started YouTube, I think, in the September of 2020, and obviously we're in 2023 now, so I've been doing it about 2 years and 4 months ish. So yeah, that is my jobs. Okay, so the next question, I put this up like ages ago, and this question I saw straight away, and I thought I absolutely love that question. And it is, if someone gave you a book and it was the story of your life, would you read the ending? What a great question. How do you come up with that? So for me personally, I think it's a difficult one. It is a really difficult one, but I don't think I would. I actually don't think I would want to know how it ends, because I feel like if I didn't like the ending, then I would be constantly trying to change my path, which I think would ultimately make me unhappy. So I guess, it sounds so cliche, but like, live your life how you want to, because you do only get one life. So I kind of feel like regardless of how my story will end, I think on like a life journey, you've got to make sure that you can look back on your life and be proud of what you've done, and like be glad that you said yes to the opportunities, to no to the things that you didn't want to do, and just, yeah, I think, and if I knew the ending of the book, then I think I would be constantly trying to like chase, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like I would be constantly trying to change the inevitable, which in the long term would probably make me unhappy, and I would end up dying the way I die. So, because it's how it works. So I think, no, I wouldn't read it. And I think I'd just continue to live my life as I am, and try and make myself proud of what I'm doing. So yeah, that's my answer. It's kind of a long-winded answer, but you get what I mean. Okay, so the next question, what job would you want if content creating wasn't your career? So I thought this was a really interesting one, because it made me think about like all the jobs in the world and what I want to do. And I think I've seen too much Grey's Anatomy, but I think I would want to be a surgeon. If I could get the qualifications like that, if I could suddenly like have the qualifications and know what I was doing exactly, I would want to be Meredith Grey or Christina Yang. from Grey's Anatomy. I think that would be my like favourite. I think I just love, like, I don't know, I just think there's something really interesting about it. So yeah, surgeon, if I could, but I can't. So, well, I could, but it would take a long time and a lot more patience than I definitely have. So yeah. Okay, how long have you had your house, and are you planning on buying another at some point? Yes, so my house I've had for 5 years now. God, has it been 5 years? Wow, that's a long time. Well, that's a long time for me. I used to move about quite a lot before I bought a house. I absolutely love this house, but the reality of it is that it's not big enough. It's a one-bedroomed house, so I literally, in my house, I have my living room, kitchen, then I have my bedroom and my bathroom. There are 4 rooms in this house, and it is very small. It's nice and cozy, and it was a brilliant house to get onto the property ladder with. I love it here. I love my street. I absolutely adore all of my neighbours. They're amazing, and I would hate to ever move away from them, but I know for a fact that the reality is that when I want to have children, or you know, I'm going to need a bigger space at some point. So yeah, I will be thinking about that at some point, not just yet. I think the next time that I were to buy a house would probably be when I was in a heck of a better financial situation, in terms of like, if I could expand and afford the bigger mortgage, then yes, or if I was with a partner and we were buying together. So yeah, that's kind of my answer to that. I do actually have, so on my reminders app, this is, by the way, Demi has got me into the reminders app and all these categories that I've got on it, but I actually have a dream house list on it, and I'll let you know what the list is. So in my dream house, these are just like basic things that they're quite basic, but quite, is pernickety the right word? Like, they're quite specific. I feel like they're quite specific, but I want to have like a laundry room. So like a separate room from the kitchen, which will have the washer and the dryer and like space to have all my laundry stuff, so that it's like tucked away without being like sprawled out through all my house. Because I mean, at the minute I've got my washing machine in the kitchen, and then to dry it I have my dryer in my bedroom, or I have some space under the stairs at the minute where I can put a clothes area. But I want like a separate room where that can all just stay and it looks tidy. Yeah, so I want a laundry room. I want 4 bedrooms. So one will be the master bedroom, one will be a spare room or a guest room. I would like an office, and then a kids room, or like just another spare until I have kids. And then I'll probably turn, if I had more kids, then I would probably turn the other spare room into another children's room or whatever. So I would like to have a 4-bedroomed house. Good storage, absolute must, because this house, I've told you how small it is. The storage is not great. So, okay, now this is oddly specific. So I want to know, when I'm looking round a new house to potentially buy, I want to walk into what would be the living room, and I want to be able to envisage where the Christmas tree goes. Because that's not something that I really thought about with this house. And yes, it does fit nicely under the stairs, but I really want like a big Christmas tree. And at the minute, it just doesn't fit. So I think when I look around a new house, I want to know, okay, that is where the Christmas tree's going, and it's going to look beautiful. That's just what I want. Good lighting, so I want it to be nice and like airy, and I want it to have big windows and like get a lot of light throughout the whole house. That's kind of one of the reasons why I want to knock down the wall between my kitchen and living room, just because my kitchen gets so much light in it from morning till the sun sets, whereas my living room kind of doesn't. So I want a house which has like good lighting in it. I would love to have a dining area, whether that is kind of part of the kitchen or separate from the kitchen, I don't know yet, but I would love to have a space where I can have a table and chairs so that I can sit at, which I can sit at it. And eat my meals. A driveway, just purely because at the moment I just park outside on the street and it's not great. I would love to have a garage as well, which I could potentially have room for maybe a home gym. So if I could have a double garage, that would be perfect. Half cars and junk stuff and half home gym, that would be lovely. And then I would love to have a fireplace as well. But that is the dream house, so that is not something that I'm thinking of getting like next week or next time I move. But yeah, it's the dream house. It's the dream house. This one's interesting. So, best and worst things about making a living as a vlogger. Okay, so I feel like this could be a potentially controversial question, because I feel like there's a lot of like misconceptions and a lot of like people who don't quite understand why influencers, whatever you want to call them, make so much money and whatever. We'll start with the best thing. And for me, it's kind of that I can prioritize my own time. So in some ways you do have to be quite disciplined for it, because at the end of the day, I could spend the day not doing anything, slobbing around, but I know for a fact that if I don't work, I don't get paid. So you've got to be quite disciplined for it, but I do like the fact that you can do it on your own schedule. So for example, I didn't have to be up and in the office for 9 a.m. this morning. It's currently 7:24 in the evening and I'm filming. So you can kind of do it as and when, which is what I quite like about it. So the fact that I don't necessarily have to get up, get ready and be sat in front of the camera by 9 a.m. filming, and you have complete creative freedom. So I can do or upload any style video that I want. There's no specific like agenda, there's no like targets to hit, there's no, I can just film and edit what I want. But then the most frustrating part of it is, I guess one of the most frustrating parts of it is the stigma around it. I do understand why there is a little bit of a stigma around content creators and influencers and things, because I feel like since 2020, myself included, I was from I started my platforms during lockdown, as did a lot of other creators. There are bad influencers. There are really stuck up, horrible people who have platforms, and it really frustrates me because those people are in the position that they are because of the following that they've got, because of the people who follow them, the people who boost their posts, and they don't appreciate that. And then when they're working with like brands which are amazing, they don't kind of see it, they don't appreciate it. And I feel like you can get some influencers who are very driven by numbers. The attitude changes when they get a following. So it's like, oh, I've got so many followers. I hate that. Absolutely hate that. I couldn't think of anything worse than like, I don't, if any of you guys have met me in person, like I hope that you think that I've been nice, but I find it absolutely wild that people come up to me and say that they've seen me on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. I do find it absolutely amazing. But sometimes I'm a little bit awkward because I'm like, oh my God, you've seen me online. Like, it's really bizarre. But then sometimes I've heard stories about creators where like they just seem like they're too good for you, and I just don't like that. And to say that I work in the same sector as them, it just doesn't, I don't know, I think that's the most frustrating part about it, is that there is a big stigma about influencers and how they make the money and this, that and the other, but we're not all like that, I promise. I promise some of us are nice, like, and chilled and realistic, and I don't know, like, I don't want to automatically assume that I'm in that category, but I hope that I am. I hope that you find me a little bit realistic, but yeah, I just like to document what I'm doing, and that's about it. So yeah, that is probably the worst part. Okay, do you know what it is? I am going to answer the most common question that I get asked every time I put a question box up on my Instagram, every time I ask you to ask questions in the comment section. Every single time it is to do with my dating life. Are you dating? Are you single? Every single time, multiple people ask me about my dating life, if I see myself in a relationship. I've been keeping a little secret from you. After 6.5 years of being actively single, I am now actively dating someone. Which is so, like, I don't know how to talk about it, to be honest. It's a very new thing for me. It's a very odd thing for me because, as I've said, I've been single for 6.5 years. It's very new. It's nice. It's, yeah. I have met a man. And we're very happy at the minute, but like I say, it's very new, and I don't really know how much to talk about it because I haven't actually spoken to him about how involved he wants to be on social media. It's not really something that we've discussed because at the moment we're just enjoying spending time together and getting to know one another, and yeah, it's something that I haven't discussed, so I'm not going to talk too much about the relationship and the person because I haven't asked them about it yet, so yeah, but all you need to know is that yes, I am dating. A man is in my life and I'm happy. So yeah, I hope that news didn't come as too much of a shock to you guys, but yeah. Ooh, is it getting hot in here? I feel like I'm being grilled. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video here because I don't really know what else to say. I feel like I've answered a good selection of questions there. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, go hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Baby, let me love you, let me love you, let me love you.